All right, welcome to another episode of Above the Bridge podcast. This is episode 13. Shout out to our sponsors, Defend Hawaii and Detail Garage Hawaii. For 15% off your total purchase, go to defendhawaii.com and ATB Pod promo code upon checkout. Also, Detail Garage Hawaii, upon checkout, ATB Pod promo code, and you get 15% off everything you order. Damn, that was hard. Okay, here we go. Today, my guest is somebody I've known for a long time from being out in the clubs, and she always had a lot of aloha, good positive energy. Welcome, Showtime Kaui, to the ATB Pod. What's up, girl?
Hey, aloha. Hey, how's it? How you guys doing?
Showtime. Super good.
Aloha, beautiful people.
Yeah.
Yes. How you doing, brother?
Been good. It was so random. I seen you last week. I was like, oh, yup, this is perfect. And you was all down to come on. Like, what were you guys doing in Windward?
We do, I work for an energy management company, and we for saving energy and whatnot, and we were doing some solar light poles. So we don't need dig up the ground, rerun electric. Nope. Just pay a few more thousands of dollars and you can have one solar light pole that we put in. So just putting up the poles, solar heads, bang, they got light, and it's a really awesome deterrent, especially times like this during this economic period, because the crime rate is up and the lighting is what's helping out the situation nowadays. So we is pumping, we is busy, EMCC Hawaii. Bang! Oh, I just did that commercial first day. I just kidding. That's what I was doing. Just putting in some solar poles for the WCC Community College. That's about it.
So you guys, you're an electrician?
Yes, I am. I'm on.
When I went there, it seemed like you was running the show. Like you was yelling at guys climbing up the ladder. Like I was like, oh shit, she's the boss. We work for a small company, and we're a small fish picking up all the big crumbs from everybody. Kind of a little bit of that dark horse in a good way. And I got some really good guys that work on my crew. I am the boss of them, and in a good way. And I got a lot of apprentice students too. So you gotta keep the hammer on them, because I never took any shortcuts coming to an electrician, and I just make sure that they work hard and they know what they're doing, and I set them up for the next task that they need to do all by themselves. So what, you had to go apprentice school and all that kind for that?
So I mean, that is your standard that you do go. But what I did was I got contracted by the military to do defense contracting, and then I started flying out and training under a bunch of master electricians. So I traveled to about 8 countries, and I was working at a bunch of embassies, United States embassies, and that's where I got all my training, my on the job training, and then I did some study courses, and then I took my test in 2012, and then I passed it with a 92%.
All right.
I couldn't believe it. Don't get me wrong. People take 5 years to get their journeyman's license. I took 8. Okay. Yeah. And because, you just gotta make sure you're ready for the task. I mean, it's no joke. Electrical is an invisible power, and that bugger lights you up. And I'm pretty fluffy. I'm a pretty heavy set person with muscles underneath. But that electricity, they don't judge, they don't discriminate. They grab you, hug you, and throw you back if it does throw you back. So you gotta be ready. And because you always see me out in the club partying like that, I have to make sure that I was 100% focused, because, I was going to work right after I was partying. So I had to kind of.
Oh, yeah. We all did that.
I had the reins of being out there and concentrating. And I did that. And that was 3 years later after my 5 years. So I could either been one doctor or an electrician. I picked the electrician.
Yeah, I remember you not coming around for a little while because you was in Japan and stuff.
Yeah. So I lived in Japan for a year. Prior to that, I was doing all training throughout Florida and whatnot, kind of gearing me up on what to expect. And then my first trip, real long story short, all by myself, this wine coming out of clubs and whatnot. And they said, you ready to fly out? You ready to go? I said, yep. I had my passport already. So my very first trip was Fiji, Suva, Fiji. Oh, wow. And that one, they just flew me there all by myself. And in the middle of a typhoon, all the trees, everything, all blown over, you seen everything all covered with water. And I said, oh my God. They said, okay, so as soon as I landed, I'm almost done with this one. As soon as I landed, the airport went shut down. And this is my very first country that I ever been to. And I said, holy crap. So, okay. So I'm watching everybody. The airport shut down as soon as I got there. I got there at 1 p.m. So I was like, okay, now you got to figure out your situation. They said, oh, I don't know when we're going to open the airport back up because look outside. You look outside the window and all the coconut trees is touching the street. So, you know, you're not going to. I said, okay, no problem. No, we're going to jump in one plane. So real quick. So once I found that we was going to sleep over there overnight, you know, I've been to Australia a bunch of times. So I seen this Aussie guy walking and I called him over. I said, come. I was like, the airport going to be shut down, bro. So why don't we just kind of team up, pair up? I get one bottle of scotch over here. I want your stuff. You want your stuff. You got to go back. So he was my buddy. Drank all night, all the way to 5 a.m. to the next morning. And then we caught the flight to where we had to go. So anyway, that was my first trip. After that, I went to South America, Korea, and then Japan for 1 year. And Japan was amazing. I was staying up north in Aomori. And I was working at the Misawa Air Force Base, and that was amazing. And that's where the food was every day, persistent, consistent, and beautiful. Change your life.
Yeah, I've been in Japan a couple of times. The food, like you cannot go Genki after going to Japan and eating sushi.
It's hard, but let me tell you something. Even if you're just getting on board ramen, they working 7 days a week. They work 7 days a week, so it's always going to be that same perfect bowl that you get. We was eating ramen every day, and I still lost weight. That's that good ingredients. That's why.
Yeah, that's real.
That's changing life in so many ways, and they're so hardworking that I would take my guys to breakfast in the morning because I had an 80-year-old lady carrying 8 plates, serving us and whatnot. So that we used to go to before work, so there was no excuse for us to be anything less than that woman right there. So
hey, that makes sense.
You look for motivation everywhere and anywhere.
Hey, that makes sense. I gotta start doing that too, huh?
That's how you think I thinking of dishes to cook every Sunday. I press live every Sunday, and it's just kind of what is on the top of my head. You know what I mean, or what I've been thinking about, and what I'm just gonna push live to just do. So. And you look for inspiration everywhere, and my following right now, they're just super helpful with everything, and I have a lot of people that from the beginning. So
before we get into your cooking, I like know how's the food in Korea?
Oh, okay. So when you travel, big thing is my sister, my dad, my mom, them, they all traveled. So they're always the biggest thing we always say is you got to explore the food. So, which I did. So, and I'm not going to say this correctly, but the Norangi, I don't know, fish market and all the markets are all open markets, whatnot. I tried everything. You better believe I spend my per diem, 100% of my per diem every day after work, trying all the food that I can in Korea. And let me tell you something, everything is just perfection, for real.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, from the dumplings to the cold noodles in the morning, you know what I mean? Then you walk down and you be like, oh, I want this fish with this abalone over here, and then right on a fresh grill. I mean, just the ambiance on top of the food in Korea is just an experience in itself. I'm not much of a shopper, but I am a big foodie, and that did it for me. I went all over just trying food, to be honest with you.
So when you were in Korea and you were working electricity, did you work with local people there, or you worked strictly with American people?
Well, the base that we were on it's Korean and American base. So we had a mixture of groups, and of course the Koreans that we were working with were English speaking. So it was definitely a mixture here and there, but in the sectors I was working was strictly American. Yeah, so it was cool. I have a lot of military friends throughout all my travels as well too, so that's lovely.
What about Japan? You guys got to work with the locals?
Oh yeah, and that's, I guess so. So that's the thing. Every military has like a Polynesian club.
Yeah.
So yes, that's in Korea also too. So that's how we kind of linked up, and it is So pretty much every local or Polynesians, they have a site or something, and that's how we made joke friends. To be honest with you, pretty much our spot at the Sapporo Inn outside of Misawa Base was a hot spot for the military. For all the Polynesians. So it was cool because we had music, where everybody knew somebody of somebody. We did the old school barbecue. Of course, we did our best to make poke and all that good stuff. So we're real connected with the Polynesians up there, for sure.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And working in Japan, the local Japanese people, you guys got to work with them? Because I know, like, working with Japanese people that come to where I work, they have a different kind of work ethic. They're like very passionate or proud. That's what I should say. They find pride in whatever they do. So I was wondering if you got a chance to experience that kind of stuff.
No, not really. I think they work it, even though you're working in Japan or something like that, in the sectors that I work in is just, all American. On the outer skirts, there was some of the Japanese workers over there. And yeah, I mean, of course, me, I go mahaoe. Yeah, I go over and, try to say aloha, go talk, and if not, kind of snoop and look into their lunch boxes, which was so impressive to me because they all have packed beautiful lunch boxes with little musubis and sushis like to perfection that they wrap
little tiny shoyu packet. Yeah,
beautiful. But then you do see their work ethic, and you do see what's going on when they work, and you can tell, and you just know that they hammers. And I'm a big fan of everything they do, to be honest with you, from construction to food to making one mat on the floor and to making their charcoal. Everything is like a tradition or a generation thing. So it's heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what's the craziest thing that ever happened to you being an electrician? Like,
okay. Well, there's a few, but we're just gonna say one. So I was on the top of the roof once, and we were doing solar. I was working for Synetric at the time, and we were on the top of a pitch of a roof, and I was kind of just running all the pipe around the solar panels, whatnot. And when I was finished running the pipes, I tried to step up, just to grab all my tools, grab my pipe, everything, because I'm going to make it down the pitch. But when I put my hands down on the pipe and then on the panel, one of the wires was underneath, from a previous install, was underneath, and all the panels getting charged. So I got whacked, I got grounded out from this side, and then the electricity passed through and then blasted out from my hand. So I had to, and then I had to so I could feel it, like I got whacked in my, kind of whacked in my heart. So I had to make it down the pitch of the roof as I knew something was wrong, make it down the pitch of the roof. My buddies was helping me, and then got me to the hospital, make sure that I got all monitored up and all that good stuff. And, I checked out okay, but I had 2 burn marks from the inside out.
That's crazy.
That kind of put a lot of things in perspective too, but, that's, you cannot see everything. You got to just make sure you know what to do immediately. But I have a lot of stories, but that's pretty much the one that stand out because it take me to the hospital. Yeah, but I'm here.
I think for me, my crazy electricity story when I was at Damien High School, my friends didn't dare me for put one pepper clip in the electric socket.
Oh shit!
That thing was sparked, but I never get jolted. But that thing definitely got me suspended.
People don't understand certain things because like an amp can kill you, depending on your situation. If you're not grounded, one single amp, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's no joke. Sometimes you just feel hooking up 3 wires, but if you don't know what is down the line, or something like that, and you never turn off everything properly, you can get whacked hard, hardcore. And then if you get any kind of heart conditions or anything like that, they can really help out with you not ever touching electric again. It really is a lot of times the game of operation. You remember that game?
Yeah.
Pretty much that's our job.
So Kai, what if you get shocked that you get all kind of new character, like you can draw good or you can sing good, like that thing rewire everything.
Let's get to it right now and have a shocking party. Showtime. If that's the case, brother, we'll be sitting on the top, cheesing my wine on the top of one building right now, looking down at our work. If that was the case. Let's keep going.
Yeah. For me, I got to defibrillate somebody a long time ago when they had those, the paddles when you go clear and and that's like joules of a certain amp, but it's not some kind of part that you guys are like doing, but just that alone you can feel the kick, and that's no joke. Electricity is no joke.
In the medical field, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Oh, that's intense. I mean, we make sure that we're all certified all the time. All of us. That's a thing that we all got to keep up with. So, for the most part, we're pretty safe. I've come into where some of my guys were unconscious one time. And this is when I was unconscious because they got shocked to hell. They never listened. Got shocked right in his neck, fell off, hit his head, and I came in there. I was like, "Oh, Bryce sleeping." Oh, he was unconscious. It's taking him nap. you know, at that time, we're all party animals, that's why, right? So I
Yeah.
thought I would take a nap real quick, but no, you got shot in his head and it was so cold. So, yeah.
Well, you must make it fun, but you probably run on tight ship, huh?
I do, but I do make it, you know, I am like this with everybody. Pretty much how I wake up is how I am, you know, just make sure that you guys is there on time. Make sure that all the material is there. But, you know, this is just because the room is green and this one is red, but the same application doesn't make it different. So, you know, I just make sure that they're on it every time. You know what I mean? And when it's not, you know, because get plenty tension sometimes too, especially, you know, well, there's always tension in that. And sometimes man drama can be more than woman drama. Let me tell you that. But we handle it real quick. I'm real close to my guys. I'm really, really close to them. In fact, some of them I can even call them my best friends because a lot of them have history with me. And I brought them into the company when times was down for them. And I trained them into a whole new career. So, yeah, I mean, I do run a tight shift, but the love and the loyalty from both sides is incredible. And I can call them right now for come over here if I was in trouble, and they would. So we have a really good family bond. We run a real family type of situation at our company, yeah, you know, because we're a small company. But you got to make sure that you get all the problems out, because if I got to trust them, you know what I mean? What if they mad at me? You know what I mean? Yeah.
You might get on shot.
But they all grateful, you know, and I always try to do my best to do extra for them. And I'm an advocate too to the owner of the company. Sometimes I got to pick and choose my battles, but I do.
Yeah.
And it works out. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like from what I've known about you. You live your life like with aloha, but definitely wouldn't want to get on your bad side, you know, kind.
Yeah. I think that goes for all of us. We don't like get on anybody's bad side. We all walk on that silver lining of not knowing what we're capable of doing. You know what I mean? But then I don't know. But yes, you're right. We don't get on the bad side, because at this point, because you try to do good and you're trying to be better and you just make sure that you're truthful with everybody. Now you get communities on your side. You know what I mean? And if you decide to be, you know, somebody shitty, excuse my language, then, you know, you got a lot of help nowadays. You know what I mean? To make sure that you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
we keep it tight like that. And I talk to them on a personal level and on a work level as a boss and one friend. But they do have to make sure they get on switch where they get a boss or one friend. Yeah, because you know, they cannot cross that line sometimes. I don't. It's all boss at work time. And then when we in the van, all friend. And when we step outside the van, it's showtime. Get to work.
I could tell just from watching you for that little while. I was like, oh shit, she's running this thing. Like,
oh yeah. Sometimes we get up to 30 guys. Sometimes we get more than that. And you know, I just tell them, hang your egos at the door. Hang your egos at the door. Hang your pride at the door. Because electrical doesn't give a shit if you're a badass fighter, if you a hunter. It doesn't care. It doesn't judge. So none of your tactics or anything is unfair to me. So I don't get threatened by the person in front of me, because the electricity is no joke, and that's not something we mess with. So I just tell them, leave your egos at the door. Don't even bring it over here. Come over here. We just one unit, one sound, and one movement. And that's just how I do it, you know. It's a big
so you got to travel with that business and that line of work. And nowadays I see on your Instagram, you're coming out with these raging food videos. And like, I got to see you on the other day in Kaneohe, and that's kind of why I wanted you on the show to talk about your food, because like the passion I see you have for making food in your videos is super, something I never experienced before by one local person with that kind of energy. You know what I mean? You're not trying for just do it like how a TV would be. You just like showing, this is what I'm doing. This is how, like, how did you get into that? Like, fuck, your food looks super good too. You know what I mean?
To be honest with you, I'm just, most times, I'm just as surprised as you are to come out. For real. Like, you know, like I have a beautiful picture in my mind. And when I'm writing it or trying to draw it on a piece of paper, it doesn't come out. But for some reason with food, it does. And that's why it freaks me out too a lot of times. But I'm starting to learn how to really think it out and not be surprised by my own thing and actually just but you know, it just started for me from when I came back from my travels, really. You know what I mean? I was just trying to redo that taste. I wasn't always a great cook, or I can cook anything. That's just not how it works for me. I just started to cook. In fact, when I started my Instagram probably about 6 or 7 years ago from my last travels, or maybe about 6 years ago. Okay, so when my last travels, I posted my first picture, and my sister said, "Oh, you gonna post the pictures?" And I'm post them. It's my very first post. And she goes, kind of ugly. You cannot do them like that. You gotta wipe your plate. You gotta make them all cherry. So I said, oh. And then I started to think about it. No, you're right. Okay. So from the very beginning of my page, you can see the gradual come up of my plating, and now even for a while now I've been writing my own recipes too that I've been coming up with. And when I watch people, especially a lot of chefs that I do admire, which is like Massimo Bottura, Francis Mallmann, Chef Mark Noguchi, when I'm watching all of these people and whatnot, it's more of their method how to cook, and then I redesign, like, because I've never worked in a professional kitchen or anything, so I'm trying to, I'm studying on how they're, to make the steak a medium rare. But then as far as ingredients or anything like that, I really rely on my own mind and taste, so I can try to be as original as possible, even though they might already have that dish. I don't know if that
so that's crazy. You don't even go by recipe then. That's all like.
Yeah, it pretty much just bothers me on what I gotta do or what I gotta cook. It really does. Like, okay, hey, it's hot this and that, but okay, I don't wanna. Okay, let me go down my protein Rolodex right now. If you don't know, it was on Rolodex back in the days. That's how business cards work. You had a Rolodex for fine. Well, I got a Rolodex sitting in my head, and so I was like, okay, let's go to a fish. All right, I never have a fish. Do I want to do white fish? Do I want a cream sauce? So I'm layering in my head. You know what I mean? Ooh, what kind of vegetable is going to go with that? Do I want to eat vegetables? Maybe I'll do like one mashed with one sweet potato. That's just constantly what my mind is doing, when I'm not working. I can't stop it. I can't help it. And I'm grateful for that. However, with all that being said and being distributed to you right now, there is absolutely nothing. And that's when I go and do these adventures. You know what I mean? I'll go up to La'akea Farms up in Kunia and cruise at them because it's overlooking the view of Honolulu, but then get all the foliage around. I'll look at that. I'll talk stories with people. I'll go fishing. So when it comes to nothing and my show is coming up, that's when I really go get out there and I talk stories. I'll go talk to one butcher. I'll go to one farmer's market. Because
you're pretty true to what you said earlier. Like you draw motivation from people around you, or you seek it out, huh?
Right, because I'm my own teacher. You know what I mean? And then I'll make people be my teachers as well too, without even them knowing. Watching is a big key to a lot of things, and that's pretty much the only way too. My uncle they never used to talk like to you and tell you every instruction. You better pay attention, watch him do it. And I never realized how important it was, because I was thinking to myself, why don't you just tell me? Why don't you? We cannot just go and tell, because what if some people don't like do that? But I mean, I'm not creeping on them or anything like that. I'm paying attention to their method and just to perfect mine. And then from there, I'll pick, people that been doing what they've been doing or passionate in what they're doing. They really like to talk to you about their passion too. So that's why I tell people, ask questions when you go to a butcher or to somebody who specializes in the job. They love to talk to you. So half the time when I'm learning about meat or what cut to use, I am getting that answer from the butcher themselves. So I'm grateful for them. Even for the seafood, when I'm talking about one mignonette, they tell me, okay, this is what it is. Okay, well, I want to make it my own. So I'm going to put Showtime Seasoning, some raw honey from Maui instead. You know what I mean? Instead of using, the type of standard vinegar, without using the type of seasoning I do, to make it my own. So, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you can get overwhelmed though, brother. You can get overwhelmed because you always think that you need to know more and more, and people want to have you cook, and you get nervous about it. But I just tell myself, well, you know what? I'm entertaining people. I'm giving people ideas, and that kind of takes that pressure off, because I'm not somebody who can tell me, oh, can come to my house and cook me the best locomoco I ever had. I can't be that person.
Yeah.
Who you try your best locomoco from is who you going to stay with that. With that.
Exactly.
So me, it's just what comes out. And when I do private parties or whatever like that, they give me full range, because I'm about interactive food and passionate food, and like, that's what I love. I don't like when people, I really always, when I serve or when I cook for a party or anything like that, it's like, I don't want it to be like, oh, what a food was good. Oh, what a wedding was good. Oh, this good. No, I want to give you a full body experience, one whole, like when you leave that whole thing, you're like, oh, what happened? And the food has a lot to do with matching the ambiance. And that's why, you know, music and the setting that I put around me it's a big deal on how I create. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. So you're an artist, you could say, huh?
Big. That's another title I just adopted. All
Yep,
right.
there you go.
Acting on, baby. Yeah. It's coming that way now that I'm getting more control of what I'm doing and what I'm growing in the back to put on my plates and everything. You know, I'm getting into my garden, and my garden has a big thing to do with a lot of my inspirations too, because I'm starting to grow like edible flowers and pretty much all my herbs that I use for my dishes now.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yes, I got a pretty big garden in the back, you know. I was trying to do aquaponics, but the kids won't let me catch and eat the fish. I'm not, well, okay, well, we can wait on that.
So when did you feel like you discovered your passion for cooking?
To be honest with you, after my sister told me my dish was ugly, and I started paying attention and just getting into it. And then, because now I just came back from all my travels, and then now I'm, you know, I want to taste that. I want to eat that. You know what I mean? So then that's when I started to bring everything together, you know. Remember now, I was going to all the open markets for seafood, and then going to their actual farms to see them harvest, you know, but like the cows and the pigs, and then, you know, actually, cooking with them, and then also for over here too, you know, cooking with the, you know, local style emu and all with the hunters and everything, you know, it does something to you. But really, when I got back from my travels is when I really got into the whole cooking platform, and I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't always a good cook. I really wasn't. My sister is an amazing cook, and she used to cook these elaborate parties, and I just said to myself, well, let me try. It's my turn. You know, that's just usually the case for us too. She didn't travel, and I would go travel. She didn't cook, and I didn't cook, and I just really fell in love with it. I really did. I'm thinking of what I'm going to make after this. Yeah.
So when you started making your videos, what inspired you to do that? Like, you just trying to show people what you're doing, or try to?
Oh, so this one is good. So I got on call. You know, I was, you know, always posting my videos, just small kind, not doing lives or not doing, you know, longer videos or anything, just kind of 1 minute clips, as you know, if you ever look back to it. But I got a phone call from Vegas Dave.
Oh, okay, little Dave.
I got a phone call from Vegas Dave, and he was like, "Hey, Kaui," and I was like, "Oh, what's up, man?" And he was really, you know, mentoring me on starting to do lives and get out there and just take your time with it. No worries, you know what I mean? But start doing lives, start doing longer videos. Of course, he told me, hurry up and do the YouTube, which I'm going to do. Like, Brother Dave, I'm going to do the YouTube. I love you.
Yeah, you got to.
You know, and
Boy Band John will make sure you do it. He made sure I doing mine for this thing.
Yeah.
Like, he was adamant, like adamant.
Yeah, really, any help, that would be great too. So, you know, and I've just been causing a lot of attention, and he put me on his live platform the other week too. And, you know, he's got, you know, thousands and thousands of followers, in fact, millions, excuse me. And, you know, he kind of, probably about a year ago, we talked, him and I, and he always checks in with me throughout the year and now. And like I said, just the other week, he was on, I just went up to his live just to say, how's it? And he put me live on there with him just to see what I was doing, what I'm going to cook, and just letting me know when he comes home if I can cook for him. I said, I can cook for you, Vegas Dave. Dave. Of course he can. So he has a, you know, big deal with me, even pushing live or having that confidence, because, you know, you don't know where you're at. You know, you don't know where you're at. You're just doing what you want to do, and you're listening to people, all good comments like that. But, you know, you want to hear too from people that, you know, are, well, like such as Dave, and my most recent one was Mark Noguchi that invited me for a beer last night. Oh my God.
Oh, that's super awesome.
And yeah, so then, you know, and then to talk to you about you and tell you, you know, you're a fan, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm a fan of you, Bullet. but just the fact that, you know, it tells me, it's like, yeah, because you break it down and all this kind of stuff. And I said, you know, shoot, thank God I'm doing what everything. But what I'm just trying to say is that's super awesome, though, to have people at this caliber give me some attention and tell me, you know what I mean? Because then that gives you, kind of helps with a lot of the confidence and everything, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, you always had confidence in yourself every time I'm seeing you, but it
Yeah.
shows when you cook. It's like, that thing looks awesome, and just your I don't know if it's passion or it's just your energy. It's just like, oh, even if it like you could have been cooking like rocks and you would have made that shit look good. You know what I mean? Like,
What? And that's what makes me feel real comfortable because, you know, I like the whole thing of being a food entertainer, you know, because it takes a lot of the pressure off because sometimes, you know, it doesn't go always the way that I planned for it, you know, but it's good fun and I love it. And no matter what, yeah. And you know what? Food is a passion, honey. It really is because it's just so beautiful. Besides the fact that we got to eat, but the fact that we can create it and turn people on to start cooking for themselves, and if they don't like to cook or you know, or even put a smile on their face, you know, it's a big deal. You know, now people they write to me, and almost like on Dear Abby sometimes, you know, like in the newspaper articles you have Dear Abby, but it's like Dear Showtime, and I truly appreciate what people they write so much beautiful things to me, and just sharing a lot of what's happening with them, and I try my best to, you know, to answer on time. But let me tell you something. I'm just so stoked that this food has been bringing everybody together on my platform. And that's the reason why I've really added the Be Kind Showtime into it too, because I can understand it's been more than just food, what I'm doing, you know what I mean? And that's
100%.
You know, you never know what somebody's going through in a day or anything like that too. And then, you know, I get the kind of comments that tell me, you know, you just made my day. I was having a bad day. I was having this, you know, I was having that. Just all these different type of situations that's not even pertaining to food that's happening on this Be Kind Showtime platform. And so, you know, even more so, I want to keep it up and keep it going.
Well,
You know what I mean?
that's awesome because
objective is Be Kind Showtime, because, you know, whoever gets in your way from that. So I'm just saying that's always my goal, to always stay there. So
yeah.
sometimes hard though, because sometimes gotta pot you a little bit. However, my truck, yeah, real quick, sorry if I'm cutting, but my truck, my honey put on my license plate covers Be Kind Showtime in the front and the back. I thought I'd take the one off in the back because sometimes, you know, I don't like be so kind. Yeah, really, thank you or whatever. Holy crap.
So your videos are kind of
when you're driving, somebody lets you in. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the same way. If you don't get that shocker, that's it.
That's
I get all nuts.
The shock. Even if you almost bang and hit somebody, kill somebody, you go out, you win. So sorry. But you know what? Don't even worry, bro. Have a good day. It's okay. Don't even worry about me. I'm good. But you did that, we cherry. Literally, it's very powerful, especially the way you show the shocker too. Like bang, hey, how's it? You can feel them already. You know what I mean? Well, if you go like that, depending how you do it, there's all different gestures that do so much without even seeing. The shocker is very powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe in it. So people, please use it because we appreciate it. There you go.
Hell
see,
yeah.
Down right there, Ham.
Yeah, the no shocker is the worst. Like you let them in and
yeah, or the one that what are you, a Nazi? Don't put your hand up like that. Just give one shocker. Oh, don't make any kind like that. Yeah. So you know.
So your video, your what is that? Go ahead.
No, I just say we just want to keep the mannerisms here because that's what the Aloha Spirit is all about.
Yup, exactly, and that's what for me, I sense your Aloha vibes while you cook. So your videos are kind of blowing up and people taking notice. So my question for you is, where you want to take this? Like, what's your goals? Like, it's a new year. I know you get some goals, and I know
I do.
This is just a start. Like, if this is your passion and you have that energy, you have a entertaining family background. You know what I mean? You're a Cazimero. Like, what's next? I like know what's your next level, because I know how you think, and this ain't it. This is a stepping stone to where you want to be.
You're right about it. It's just the beginning.
And you smiling, so I know I'm right.
yeah. I'm smiling too because, you know, excited to see you and talk to you. But so yes, we're doing big things. My Showtime, I do have a seasoning that I make, which we just every time we make them, it's sold out again. But I'm gonna make another one. So I do have Showtime Seasoning. You know, our plan is to, you know, try our best to get that into the stores. You know, now that the Department of Health is open back up, we can go for the right, you know, other things that we need to get so we can get it in the store. So that's
you want to manufacture your own seasoning.
Of course, yes,
Oh,
yes. I'm
yup,
also,
that'll work.
yeah, and I'm also working on a few other drops that I can't really tell you about that right now, but
Yep,
I have
let me know
few
when.
that I'm working
Yep.
on that's going to come out, and then also too, to start doing some pop-ups. I'm probably going to do one up at La Kia Farms. Hopefully, I've been talking to them, working some things out, and so some pop-ups here and there, and Mark Noguchi, yeah, and I can see it because he told me, Kate said, he wants to, cook with me too. And so hopefully do some shows with some awesome people who are a big influence out there. And I got hit up by quite a few people actually. So to start doing more cooking out there in the community, pop-ups is a big thing. And of course, we're going to lead us into a restaurant eventually. So
Oh, so that's the main goal.
yeah. But
Yup.
that's in the future, because right now with my electrical, I am going to be pursuing, I'm studying. I think in a year I will be getting my contractors. So I really just want to make sure that I take care of, because I gotta do one thing at a time.
Hey,
I
brick
do
by
get
brick, that's how
overwhelmed,
you build. Yep.
you
Yep.
know.
Brick by brick, that's how you build a wall. Just one step at a time.
Yeah,
But
so
I'm
it all come together, and then we'll go ahead and have that nice little umbrella and 21
yeah.
Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Well, I'm happy to hear that you got your goals set, and that's all you gotta do is make a checklist and just check the boxes as you go, and next thing you know, you
real.
hit it.
That's what come. I didn't mind being patient with that was the word of it, of the year for me, because I do, my mom's side is Japanese, so we get our blessings and the reverend. And last year he would read my stuff and he said, "Ooh, okay, patience. That's all I can tell you, patience." And yes, and in the beginning of the year I did lose my father, was on hardcore thing. And then the other thing is to during that time of being patient is when I'm teaching myself methods, how to cook, how to do certain things, how to be on the camera. I used to swear a lot. If you could, on my past videos and everything, and my dad be like, "Stop swearing." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Oh, you don't notice. And then
Yeah,
so,
I'm the
so I
same.
see myself growing on my lingo when I'm talking, especially now too. We're getting a lot more keikis on my channel or on my Instagram, and really we have really all ages, and we're starting to get people from all over the world now, and even if it's one or two from different various countries, it's incredible. So I could see myself growing, and however long it takes for me to get to the next platform is what it's supposed to be. I realize that, but I do know that I will be taking a lot more chances and getting uncomfortable in my skin and jumping
Yeah,
into things and taking a chance. Yeah, so I'm very
that's what's
excited.
up. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think with you too, like for me, a lot of local people that moved to the mainland has been tuning into my podcast, and I could totally see that happening for you, because a lot of local people that living in the mainland, they want to feel local, or
Oh,
like
yeah,
watch stuff that's local, or just hear people talk local,
right.
and they must love your stuff because
Oh,
you're cooking food, making local food with that local aloha energy. Like, bruh, that could just straight make them feel back at home for whatever time it is. You know what I mean? It's that's kind of
yeah,
a good
no,
vibe.
you're absolutely right about that, brother. Because sometimes, I have people coming up to me and be like, "Oh my God, my mom in the mainland watches you, and she told me to watch you." Because now when I go into the stores, I'm pretty routine in where I go. That's why too, and um, you get approached a lot now. I've been getting approached a lot, and which is comfortable for people to approach me, because what are we talking about? We're talking about food. You know what I mean? It's comfortable, and it just makes people smile too. So they tell me, my family in the mainland, and then down the way that they write to me is like how much they miss home and why they had to move. So
Yeah,
really, it got real personal with a lot of people, and I do my best, like I said, to answer them back, and they're just so grateful too, and I'm grateful to hear their story, and I'm stoked that they're watching from
yeah.
Michigan, Tennessee, Illinois. We got one from Maine, Guam, Europe. We're getting all over New Zealand, we get Australia. So it's cool, man. I'm stoked about it, and I like the fact people come up to me and talk, because there's not an opposition or anything. It's not.
Oh yeah,
Everybody can talk about food. Everybody can talk about
yeah.
that. And that's what I love the most, because we've been all the countries I went to travel. I couldn't remember a lick of their language, and I tried my best, but my memory is shot. But the thing about it is that we all knew how to show expression of how good the food was, how grateful we were. And that's why food is our international language that we all understand.
Yeah, if it tastes good, it tastes good in Japan, tastes good everywhere.
And that's how we connect globally
Yeah.
through food. And I completely believe it. And a lot of the chefs that I do admire are doing the same thing for their community and making sure that they make their economic thrive through food to the world, because what they're showing. So I definitely want to be on that path with them, and I definitely want to be one of the greats eventually. So hopefully that happens. We'll see.
Guarantee. I feel like you will make it happen. So it's not an option. It's not gonna happen.
Right, you're right about that. And you see my other half too. I get on Ham on my side, so we both on the same page, and that makes it a lot easier and better and exciting. You know.
So that's what I wanted to talk to you about too. Like, how did you meet her, and like, how does she motivate you?
Oh, so we met. Well, we were high school classmates. We're high school classmates, and then we met later on in excuse me, let me wipe my sweat real quick. We met in we're classmates. We have the same friends, and we have the same best friend. And one of our best friends is Shannon. I love you. And she came to the bar with my friend one day, and I said, I could come down. She's like, no, come down, come. Me and Chris, I was like, okay, I come down. And then I was at the bar. The door would swing open, and there she was standing in the door. I wrote it perfectly on one of my stories on top of my Instagram, but she was in the door. I told everybody, move. She's mine, so everybody would move. And I walked straight to her. I walked straight up to her like I never seen her before. I was like, Jesus, you beautiful woman. And then this was like this, talking to her, saying, how's it? And then that was it. She left my life for that night. I told my friend 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I don't care where they are, I'm texting, we can go meet them wherever. I didn't get to see her. The next night, they came to my house because Shan decided to have a beer at my house. She's like, oh yeah, Crystal coming. I was like, okay. After that, that was it. She came up with what 24-case beer. Oh, it's like the woman of my dreams already. I ran up, I got that case beer, I put her down, put her chair right next to mine. And then and I was giving all the best stories I could possibly do to shine. And right there, she went hook my leg. I would text her on her telephone. I said, meet me bathroom. She said, okay. And after that, we went to the bathroom. I did my very best to give her the best kiss of my life. I wanted to tell her I love you, but that was too soon. And that was since then we've been together forever. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you know, because we know each other, and it's just wonderful. And it was just an instant connection. And she just got totally on board on what I'm doing, and just totally believes it, loves the skin that I walk in. You know what I mean? And just totally supports that. You know what I mean? She goes, honey, I'm selling your ass. I was like, all right, baby, sell me. She used to think I was a pimp. Now I'm being pimped, and I don't mind. That's right. Yeah. So she's really, really really everything. And you know, she has 2 beautiful kids that's just changed my life. I have an instant family now, and I'm very
that's you must have a blast over there. You guys must have good fun.
We do, and we really try to, we plan something every weekend as much as possible. You know, beach, community parks. She takes, they ride bike every day, everything. She really just, we're just trying to do everything to balance. Not only to be out here in Hawaii Kai, but we take them up to the, to the Mauna. Hulali goes to Kamehameha. We got Echo Boy into Malamahonua because, Echo Boy is more of a kinesthetic learner, hands-on learner, and that school really does it. So it's changed his life too, and he loves to learn. So it's a really busy house, and they're all on board, and they love it, and they love to see when I'm cooking, and
yeah,
and they love to see what the final plates is. So it's exciting stuff, and Echo Boy really. Yeah, he likes to be on the camera more and more now. I say, that's right, boy.
Yup, get him on there.
Yeah.
Oh, so you kind of have a good thing going on right now then.
I do, bro.
You look happy. That's for sure. You definitely look happy.
I am happy. I'm grateful, because shoot, to be honest with you, who knows what would have happened, to be honest, if I never decided to get out of the box, because I love to enjoy myself so much.
Yep, I know the feeling. They gotta pay me to be there.
Right. That's right. Very good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But every time I seen you, you're definitely the life of the party. But
Thank
you
you.
always came up, gave me a big hug, had a shot. Like you always made it a point to come hang out for a little while, talk story. Like
You're very inviting. You're very awesome. And you're always very kind. You
yeah,
are.
try to be.
Yeah. Well, as far as I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're always a beautiful person, brother. And I I
Thank you.
made sure that I wanted to tell you that. And I never care where or who or what or anything like that. I mean, I admire what you're doing. You always took control of what you were doing. In the clubs, and made it. You manifest what you were doing always. And I was stoked on you. So every time you came, I'd be like, bro, this is cherry. What you doing? It is. It's not easy. You know what I mean? I know everything takes something. I know everything takes 5 to 10 steps to do one thing. You know what I mean?
Oh
And you were
yeah.
doing it. Like, yeah, bro. And I understood what you had to some extent, what you had to put behind it. So, I was always stoked to see you, and I congratulate you all the time, brother.
Yeah.
You always had a good time.
It's kind of interesting. Like we know a lot of people, and there's so many different ones of our friends that excel at certain things, and it's a trip. It's like we don't know normal people. Like I don't know normal 9 to 5. I mean, I know some, but the people I surround myself with try. Like you said, you gotta try, gotta get uncomfortable and
Yeah.
try and take on risk. Try and do something that people might not like it, but who cares? I'm gonna do them anyway. Like
Right.
it's just the mindset that at least my friends and how your friends are too is different. It's not, we not the same as just an average person, you know what I mean?
Right. And that's what's great, because now we get the power to, what we're trying to do is build like a community, build the communities to see certain things that they may not have seen that we doing that is a positive thing. And that's great, because sometimes, we got to take the reins and set the tone for a lot of things nowadays. And it cannot be everybody. Got to be certain people. And
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
are the chosen one, or whoever's the chosen one, then you make sure that you do the best with it, because we got to make sure that we bring everybody that is great and good, that wants to do great and good, to be on board. You know what I mean? And give them ideas or how, or try, and let them, to take a step, that's hard to take. And don't get me wrong, I was procrastinating planning. Look, I'm good. I'm 39 now, and I'm just kicking off, and it's just the beginning for me, and I'm excited about it. But I'm grateful to be 39. I'm grateful to be 40 coming up, and I'm grateful to even have a goal, because I never had that kind of stuff before, because I just never cared to see it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And when I started to start getting these little lights of food or electrical, I want to take it to the next step. That's when I just started to dig deep, and started to let the creative juices and energy flow.
You just needed direction, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And it took people to call me up and be like, "Hey, don't waste it. Do something
Yeah.
with it. You want to do Showtime? Then do Showtime." All right,
You get that magic, you gotta let it out.
that's right. I always was a fan of magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with all this going on in Hawaii, we a new mayor now, like what do you think for our well-being in Hawaii is gonna be like?
Ooh, to be honest with you, it's really too early to say for me. I, you know, there's it to me. We gotta see what's gonna happen, and I hope for the best. I mean, I truly believe our new mayor is gonna, was more on board with the kind of plans. I did vote for Rick too, so I think the points that he made, the reason why I voted for him, and hopefully push that through, is going to be a really good, great change for our we loved Hawaii. But it's too early for me to say that. That's not come to me. All I know is what we can do for ourselves, and that's to make sure that we are making sure our skills are up, making sure your food, your education, everything, to make sure that you can to make your family good and to survive, is what I'm really about right now. And how the politics go, we just hope for the best, and we're rooting for a great outcome, really, because it's kind of
Yeah,
early right now. I'm a little nervous on what's going to happen, really.
I know
But
it's been a crazy year.
it's been a
Or
crazy year.
last year.
There's so much to clean up, and so much to that's, that's too much turmoil right now. So we'll see what happens with that. But as far as we are concerned, we got to keep going. We got to keep moving. We cannot wait what their outcome is going to be at this point. We got to make sure that we get smarter, get faster, and get more diligent in what we do. I mean, we are our own saving grace for our ohana, yeah. And that's
for sure.
So, we are our own leaders right now.
Yep. Sounds like it's gonna have to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then we gotta make sure that we educate the kids so they can be able to make moves when they get older.
Exactly, and that's how come. Echo Boy, we out there learning how to throw a net, learning how to fish. Learning his mannerism. Making sure he can read, write. More than what he think he can. So skills. Skills is a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And even for like learning how to plant kalo, all that stuff. So that's the kind of stuff we making sure, because really sustainability is what we all need to be educating ourselves with. Yeah.
Yeah. And our island has it all.
Right, it does. But then it's just a matter of how you can manifest that in your own home, or how to incorporate it, because we do live on an island. So if they ever stop for do shipment or anything like that, it's happened before. It's happened. So you got to make sure that you have some sort of skills that you can manifest and make sure that you can protect or provide for your ohana. So big trip.
100%.
I think we got more. I think the community's got a lot more closer with all this COVID and all this war and all that stuff. And everybody is willing to help each other. You just got to get out there and ask.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like, Hawaii has to be a example for the rest of the country or the world.
Exactly.
Aloha starts here, and we got to be an example. Like, the way we rally together as a community can inspire other communities to do the same, but we got to do it first. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely. It's just the way I feel.
That's our marquee. That's just what we about. Aloha Spirit is a big deal. I mean, it's more than definitely more than a word, but I know how much it means. Especially when I traveled to like Florida, they had no idea what was in shock. They had no idea our way of life. But by the second day I was there, after talking stories, and everything like that, they was shockers. They was taking me on the top of there. I was working at the federal fire station in Pensacola. I just like the weeks working with them, they're just like, they're so embodied by the personality that we have, that, they had the Blue Angels come meet us because that's their home base up there. They all, by the time I was done with them over there, they came with big plaques of all their birds, of all the plates and autographs, and, gave us all kinds of gifts, and was just shaka holding the Hawaiian flag. I brought one with me. I always kind of bring one Hawaiian flag. That was all shocking, and they never even know a lick of it, but they was just so, not a sound by just knowing the word, but the feeling that we give, and just sharing the mana'o, sharing our thoughts, sharing our way of life, and just the way we love is different, and just the way we just love each other and people, not necessarily just your family, but just how we want to express ourselves to people.
Yep. And so you're just the ambassador of Aloha.
Yeah, there you go. Oh.
Right on. We've been going for an hour. Let's try see Boy Band John got the question of the week.
Right.
Before I ask, can you hear me? Hello.
Yep. What's up?
No, before I ask the question, we got to know the origin story of Showtime. Because,
that's a good one.
I used to love Showtime as a kid. Back in 6th grade, I used to watch Saturday night, late night Showtime, Red Shoe Diaries, all that kind of movies.
That's all the pornos, huh?
Hey, praise, major. 6th grade, major.
Come on. To be honest with you, so Showtime came from the first time was, I guess it was yelling them out or whatever, but I used to surf the top of my truck from 939 to Venus nightclub. So that's how it started.
I remember that.
It's when Road Rules and Real World was like a big deal with the reality shows. And so they came down, they called me out of a club, and they was like, can you take us out, take us partying, whatever. So I pretty much had all the top players of Road Rules and Real World driving my truck, and I was surfing it from 939 to Venus all the way, because I was that kind of person. And then and that was kind of a thing, like, just yelled out Showtime, and they started yelling that. And then the next thing was, when I was in Japan, for some reason, I was always dancing and singing karaoke, and they're like, oh, good time, Showtime. Like, so when I left Japan, I had all the Japanese, all the bars, and they was chanting out Showtime. And I said, really, that's just how it came. It came off of a party platform, and now we have molded into a family platform, which is Be Kind Showtime. So
That's
it evolved with
awesome.
the change of my life, and that's really nice.
I knew the party Showtime pretty well.
Yeah, to serve my own cause.
And
That's
so,
a good question.
the kind of MTV Road Rules Challenge. That's one of my guilty pleasures. The challenge, huh? Well, what guys or characters came down you hung out with?
Yeah, pretty much all of them. I can't remember all name, but like every
Hollies,
main
huh?
one.
Hollies.
Yeah, so they did a whole get together, like a reunion over here. But had Road Cafe, all them guys like down here, and then they would always come like Ruthie, them, everybody. So
Oh yeah,
I
Ruthie.
don't remember all their names, but there was a bunch of them. And I used to, like I said, they had a big party at Venus at one time, and then they called me into the VIP room, and they're like, "Hey, we want to meet you, da 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 da. We heard you can, show us a good time." I said, "I sure can. Let's go." I put them in the karaoke room, and they at Do Re Mi at the time, all of them.
Oh shit!
I think there was like 10 of them from different seasons at the time, and then after that I took them to the after hours again, everywhere. I took them after hours, and then I dropped them off at their hotel at the Prince at 7 a.m. and they had to go and film or whatever. I was like, "Good luck, bro."
I'm going home.
But it was a good time, So every time they was coming down individually, after that they would come pick me up. So I haven't seen them for a while, but that was a good time. Yeah, they were driving the car, my truck.
Good time.
That's awesome.
Okay, so question of the week.
Yes.
What are your top 3 dishes you like to make for yourself to eat?
For myself. Oh, that's a good one. That's good that you said for myself. Okay, top 3. Let's go.
Okay, wait. Let me go first because yours is gonna be better. So my top 3 dishes I like to make for myself is I got a sous vide.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, that thing is major because you cannot overcook, and for me that's perfect. So what it is, it's a water bath, and it's a heated water bath, and it circulates water, and you put the food in one bag, put them in the water, and you can't overcook it, and you can leave it for hours. So I can make prime rib, brisket or whatnot, but I make good ribeye. So you cook them in the sous vide, and then I just sear them on the outside twice. So that one is winner. My go-to dish. What is that?
Is that French? What kind of word that? Sous vide. Is that French?
Sounds French.
Oh, okay.
Sous vide. Yeah,
sous vide. Or not sous vide.
Yeah. It's French.
Yeah. So that's one. And then my second one would be my go-to dish. I it's probably one of the few dishes I know, but I get them down. Pork and squash. Oh,
that's a
I go to the farmer's market at the mall. I get the big Chinese squash and the green beans, and I get them down. That burger comes out good, and my daughter likes it, so that's the main thing.
That's what's up. When the kids like them, it's good.
Yeah, and then my third go-to dish is recently, within the last 2 years, I learned how to smoke meat, and my friends, shout out to Jaren Chun and Puka T Meats Taylor. They kind of taught me how to smoke it and try to help me modify my recipe and stuff. And I got it pretty down where I got it pretty close to like how I want it. And you just put in scoop jelly, fry them, and put onions, and winner.
Put about water in already, yeah. So
that's my treat, which is probably not as good as what yours is gonna be.
No, don't even. I don't even really have a big story about what I gotta say. Really, to be honest with you, my favorite dish to make, and I can make them all the time, every time if I could, is my reverse smoked tomahawk steaks.
Oh, I seen that.
Reverse seared tomahawks is major with the Showtime Seasoning right on top. Pop. Reverse sear, 250 degrees, and then bang. Usually, if I get one grill available, if I'm not just cooking them in my kitchen. Of course, right on the Kaui, boom. Sometimes I put guava.
Yeah.
However, some people is allergic to guava. I never know that, but that's okay. So anyway, my reverse sear tomahawks, major, number 1 for me. I love it. Comes out perfect every time. And then
I gotta try that.
Yeah, nah, for real, for real. In fact, I want you guys to DM me or text me you guys' address because I would love to send you guys on one of
Oh,
my
yeah.
Showtime Seasoning so you can try.
Oh, yes. I definitely want to try that. Yep.
Yeah. So I got a bag for you guys for mahalo you guys for this nice show. And then my second thing, I just like to make pastas. I love to make pastas. Just a whole variation of it. I don't really have a favorite one, but I'm big on making different pastas because it's it's beautiful, it's versatile, and I can play with colors and different proteins. So really, I can just say pastas. And then I think my comfort dish that I really love to make, and I make it quite often, is my Showtime's pork watercress tofu sukiyaki.
Oh, that sounds major.
Simple. I love it. The burger is on and I can eat them 10 times. Yeah. It's just one of those things that I like to eat.
Yeah.
That's it. Simple kind. Simple tempo.
Oh, that's awesome. So are those gonna be on your menu when you open your restaurant?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's gonna be the secret menu.
Yeah. I've been working on what really hits home for me. Like I said, I've been writing for a while now with my creations and my dishes. So, now it's going to be at a point where we're going to narrow it down when I do have a menu to offer. But what's cool about it is people give me free range to create. So
Oh, yeah.
I can, go ahead and have a genre. I'm looking at their ambiance and creating a menu. I kind of really like to do custom menus. But yes, for sure, if I can do the tomahawks on top all day long, I will. It's an experience.
Yep.
It's lovely. It's always exciting to have a tomahawk on your table, right? In fact,
Oh, yeah. It's a conversation starter. One big hunk of meat always gets people talking.
I know. I can tell the difference from my salad post to my meat post. Oh, big difference, guys. You gotta eat healthy. You know what I mean? Oh, big difference on the meat post and the salad post. Oh. Yeah, that's what I post. If you look on my star, I post a meat one right after. Oh, that bug was shit.
Yeah.
He always does that for everybody.
Right on. All right. Well, pretty much went for over an hour. I appreciate you coming on this show so much. Like,
I had a good time, brothers.
I had to come check you out in Hawaii Kai. I'm always there.
Yeah, you should. Just on the weekends you're here. If not, I'm up at Sandy's or out in Davis. Troy and Paul. I always fish. We take the keikis. So that's kind of my new thing now. We always doing something around with the keikis. But if not, my 2 garage doors is open, and we always cruising. You guys come check out my garden one day. Bring your daughter. That'll be good fun.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah, our house is really kid friendly. You know what I mean? I get them gated all over the place, and it's all in sections. So you guys would love it. You guys should come over to my house. Yeah.
So how you like being around kids? Like that's kind of a different set for you, or?
Oh yeah, it is for sure. It really was. Like I said, instant family for sure. I'm like, plus too, I was, you don't have a voice, the way that I was raised with my mom. And my mom is on hammer. Yeah, she's 5'11" hammer. You don't talk unless you ask one question or you don't answer back. Well, our generation's a little bit different now, but it's kind of just it's cool to see their growth right in front of you now, and it's a trip. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'm like, oh, yeah, we go in the back and take a break, but you know what? That's not, it's freaking rewarding, bro. You don't realize how much you sacrifice. You sacrifice plenty, and it's okay. It feels good because you know what you're doing it for. I'm not just doing things for myself anymore, which I only used to do, right? I never really had anybody to be responsible for or anything like that. And now that I do, I worry but then I worry about them, or I'm like pissed off, but then they do these things that just like blows your mind because you can see their growth and they're just so amazing and beautiful. You can see them reading better. You can see they're getting straight A's, and they're, it's a trip. And at this point, I do whatever it takes for them. You know what I mean? Even put braces on the girl's mouth.
Yeah.
That's a lot of love, bro.
Yeah. I know my daughter's going to need those soon.
It's changed my life, bro. It's changed my life, and I love it. And I can still be the same person I want to, too, because my honey loves that about me. And it just all works. I found the family that is my home now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Those kids must love you. You must have all kind of fun energy coming out of there.
I do. And then, but when I walk away, it's because I had enough. But yeah. Yeah. Especially me and Echo Boy, and the 2 girls with my honey and Hulili, because she's just became a teenager. But me and Echo Boy, yeah, we kind everything because I play Pokemon with him. Everything, whatever, anything he's into, I like that kind of stuff. I'm still a kid too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Gotta be.
fun, bro. Yeah, I'm grateful to have one family. To be honest with you, yeah.
Oh, right on.
This way, yeah.
Sounds like you're doing super good. That makes me super stoked.
Yeah, bro. I am. I'm happy. That's the main thing. All right.
Right on. Well, I think that's about it. I think anything else you wanted to shout out or anybody you wanted to say hi to or.
Oh, just shout out. Right here's the kids right here. Come on.
Oh yeah, bring them over here.
Hello, this is the podcast over there. This is good. Above the bridge. Come say hi. Come say hi. Ready as Echo Boy? Right
What's up?
Right there is Father John.
No be shame. No be shame.
Push up the hammer. Hey, boom, bring them up. There you go. And that's what They just came home from the daddies and they had a good time. So.
Oh, nice.
I guess they're gonna be hungry. But what time is it? Oh, good. I gotta cook dinner.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I mean, all the shout outs just to everybody that's just been a part and supporting me on my platform. And, I hope to do my very best to give you the best show I can, to do whatever, put a smile on your face, to make you think of a dish to cook or inspire you in any way. So that's all I have. And I just mahalo everybody that's on board. Bang.
Yep. And people can find you on Instagram, Showtime _Kaui _Cazimero.
Yeah, pretty much you type in Showtime, put that underscore, I'm going to pop up on your feed.
Yeah.
That's what somebody.
And then by this year, I'm challenging you for 2021, get a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And if you need help, call me up. I'll help you out. Like that.
I'll call you up.
Yep.
Okay.
That gotta happen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, make sure. Yeah. So Showtime Seasoning 2 is gonna be. It's ready. It's ready for everybody.
Oh yeah. I definitely want that.
Address. I'm gonna send you guys a bag at your guys' house.
For sure.
Everything. It's all purpose and it's lovely. And you can put a little magic on top of your food. Let me tell you something. It's showtime after that. Right? Love you guys.
All right. And for us, you can find us atbpod.com, Above the Bridge Podcast on Instagram, Above the Bridge Pod on YouTube. Boy Band John is BBJ 808. No, 80, the letter O. BBJ 8, the letter O8. I'm going to get it right, and you better not edit it out. Go follow Boy Band John on Instagram. It will make you famous.
And I'll make sure that I put that on my platform as well, too. I'm such a privilege to do this, guys. I really appreciate you guys asking me, too.
Hey, I'm so happy you came on. I appreciate you. I've known you for a long time, and one of the biggest things and biggest reasons why I like to do this is I get to talk to my friends uninterrupted, and having a conversation with you without all the ruckus going on around us is probably one of the coolest things I got to do in a while.
Yeah, this is awesome, brother. Keep it up. Both of you. Thank you so much. I mean, nobody else is giving us that platform because we're trying to build a stronger and awesome community, and this is the way to do it, so people can have hope and hearing, to take chances in what they
do,
but they're not, so hopefully we're doing that for them. Awesome.
Yep. Rising tide floats all boats, and we always gonna help each other.
That's right. That's the Noah's Ark.
Yep. Right on. Well, that's about it. I appreciate you, girl. I love you. I'm so happy that you came on the show.
I love you too, bro. I love you too, brothers. Yeah. Love you. Have a great week, day, everything.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah. Okay, shoot then. What are I going to do now?
Right on. And as always, shout out to the Artist Groove Network.
Yeah, that's right. AGN for life, baby.
AGN for life.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, bye.